Hi, I'm State Senator Anthony Sykes, and welcome to this week's edition of the Sykes Update. It is May the 10th, 2008, and we are here at a very special event in Duncan, Oklahoma at the Stevens County GOP Fish Fry. This is our biggest event of the year, our annual fundraising feature, and we are proud to have Ed Moore and his ministry, Prayer Force One, down here today. He's brought his bus that's outside, and I had the pleasure of introducing him. Many of you may not know this, but Mr. Moore is a former Republican state senator, and I have invited him to come back to visit the chamber next year when, Lord willing, we will be in the majority when we open session in 2009. Had a lot of great issues at the Capitol this week. Unfortunately, did not come out on the winning end of some of those. Fought hard for voter ID and also to make English our official language. Now, you're going to hear a lot of stories about how, oh, I voted for English as the official language. But I think Representative Terrell put it best when he said that the Democrats' version, their official English bill, is kind of like a taxidermist telling you that he's the same as your vet, because either way you're going to get your dog back when it's all over. The Democrats' version is nothing but symbolism. It says English is our official language. Changes nothing. You're still going to have to pay for government services, driver's license test, in any language that someone can request. And there are approximately 300 languages being spoken here in the United States. That's going to cost taxpayers a bunch of money to continue to do that. Of course, you know, right now we're being sued by two native Iranians to make Farsi available for driver's license tests. So their version is still going to require that. However, our version had real teeth in it. It had great white shark teeth in it. It would have stopped all that, allowed any citizen to enjoin a state agency from providing services in any language other than English. And unfortunately, we lost a procedural vote on that, and the version that went to conference is not a good version, and I don't think it'll be coming out of conference anyway. So unfortunate, but we will continue the fight at the state capitol to make English our official language. It's something I campaigned on and I'm committed to. So check back in the future for the Sykes Update. You never know. I look forward to the day when I can say that English is the official language of Oklahoma is on its way to you. I filed the measure 2 years in a row. I will file it again next year and pursue it then. Anyway, from Duncan, Oklahoma, this is Senator Sykes signing off for this week's Sykes Update.
Right now, I'd like to call State Senator Anthony Sykes to the stage, and he will introduce our keynote speaker for tonight. Anthony.
Thank you, Wayne. I want to thank all of you for coming tonight. This is our biggest event of the year, and as Wayne said, it is a fundraiser, and many of you might remember the headquarters we had 2 years ago down on the corner of 9th and Main. Was by far the nicest headquarters of any county party in the state, and we would not have won Dennis's race and my race without things like that, and without you guys. So I want to thank you all. And I'm here to introduce our keynote speaker. Many of you may have seen Ed Moore's bus out here, Prayer Force One, that he founded in 2006 to spread the word across this nation that the ministry that the Lord has called him to. Ed and his wife Sandy have 6 children and 10 grandchildren. And so he is a family man first and foremost, but he's also many other things. He is a missionary, a pastor, author, and one thing that many of you might not know is he's also a former Republican state senator here in Oklahoma. And this past Tuesday night we had what's called the Republican Old Timers Dinner, where any person who has ever been a Republican state senator, we get together and we have dinner. And to hear those guys tell the stories when there was just 5 of them and 6 of them, and they could have a caucus sitting around a table, to now be, thanks to you guys, I'm number 24 in the state Senate. And we just need one more to take that majority. And Ed, I want to extend an invitation to you right here in front of everybody. On the first Monday in February next year, I'd like for you and any other person who's ever been a Republican state senator and had to serve in the minority to come join us on the floor that day when we take the floor for the first time as a majority in the state Senate. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce our keynote speaker, Mr. Ed Moore.
Thank you. Thank you, Steph. Let me see. We'll just fix him right up front. And we won't have any. We'll fix this one up too. Thank you very much. I'm honored to be here today with you. I will say this, that without any exaggerated, you are the friendliest people I've met anywhere, and it makes me proud to be an Okie. I can promise you that. I'm not from Stevens County, I'm from Kay County, Oklahoma. Actually, I think the GOP and the Grand Old Party stands for the Gippers Old Party. How many were around and active when Ronald Reagan ran for the White House? I was there in in New Orleans, Louisiana, at the 1988 Republican Convention when Ronald Reagan gave his famous go out and win one more for the Gipper speech, and it was electric. It was wonderful. I was elected as the, at the time, I don't know about since, but at the time I was elected the youngest state senator in the state of Oklahoma history, and the first Republican elected south of I-40. And I like to tell people that I ran the year Reagan won. I outpolled him in my district, and we didn't mind Ronald Reagan riding our coattails. But it was a good year. We thought it was a great year when we won. I was Senator Anthony. I was Senator number 11. And that was really something. We could really bellyache about everything else that was going on. We couldn't do anything about anything. But it's wonderful to see what you folks have done here in Stevens County, in this part of our state. A two-party system is great for the country. I'm so thankful for what you've done. I'm reminded, Steve, about the fellow, the old farmer that was having a meet the candidates affair at his farm. And Ronald Reagan told this joke a few years ago, so if it's not as partisan as it sounds, it's coming from him. I'm just passing it on. The farmer was having a meet and greet for all the candidates. Well, there'd never been anybody ever show up in that county for years but a Democrat. And they'd just never seen a Republican before. They didn't know what one looked like. And at any rate, finally the fellow got bold enough. I guess it could have been Dr. Beasley. He said, well, I want to run. And so he showed up at the farmer's house, and he announced himself. He said, I'm a Republican running for office. Well, the farmer said, I'd never seen anything like this in my life. And so he said, hold on, hold everything. He said, I've got to go get my wife and let her know that we have a real live Republican speaking. Well, while he went to get the guy's wife, it wasn't much of a platform. He was a short little fella, and so he just started going like this and scraping together a big pile of that stuff that Bess Truman spent 50 years trying to get Harry Truman to call fertilizer. And so she came up, and about that time he stepped up on that big pile and he delivered his speech. And at the end of that speech, the lady came running over and she said, "Man, I want you to know that's the first time I have ever heard a Republican speech." And he looked back at her and said, "Ma'am, that's the first time I've ever delivered a Republican speech on a Democratic platform."